Hello, I'm here to give my thoughts on the Superior Spider-Man, the new comic book series debuting in January 2013, and to be the replacement of The Amazing Spider-Man, which is to end this December at issue 700. Now, obviously, there's been a bit of r rumors surrounding this, plenty of press, I suppose, buzz, I'll go with that, and many questions are being asked, such as, now, I think one of the biggest questions that have been put up with this topic is it still going to be Peter Parker behind the mask? I personally actually think so. It kind of, I kind of find it hard to believe that the storyline that they're going with that will lead up to 700 is going to involve Peter's death. It seems as if it's going to involve a tragedy or something that will affect him personally, that will get him to the way he's going to be in Superior Spider-Man, but I find it hard to believe that they're actually going to replace him, especially since it kind of. Now, yeah, I am aware that in the ending of Spider-Man, although I haven't really read that yet, I just read the reviews, that that Peter looks up the name Miles Morales, who's the name of the guy who's replaced him in the Ultimate Universe, and was surprised by what he found, which pretty much says that there is a guy named Miles Morales in the universe that in the mainstream universe, and he's already well known. He's already doing something that personally with Miles Morales, I actually do think they're going to introduce him, but I don't know if I really believe that they're going to have him be the next Spider-Man. I don't know if I really go for that. Personally, I wouldn't really be completely enthusiastic about that if they were, because Peter is to me is Spider-Man, and I've never been a big fan that they replaced him in the Ultimate Comics anyway. Although I will admit the deaths of Spider-Man storyline isn't too badly done. And it is a pretty impressive ending for the character. Another point I want to get across is how dark can they go with Superior Spider-Man without making it just another Batman storyline? Because personally, I'm a little. Peter Parker and Bruce Wayne, their origins aren't too different. Yes, they lost different family members. Peter already lost his parents before he got his powers. Bruce Wayne, it's Bruce Wayne's parents' death that got him into being Batman, but it was Peter's uncle's death that got him to being a crime fighter as well. Their personalities do have their differences. Like Peter is a bit more of a lighter and a bit more of a probably a bit more positive and upbeat character than Bruce Wayne is, who's very broadening, very at some points it's been said that he kind of keeps some people distant away from him. But how dark can they possibly go with Spider-Man, and how are they going to get there? Now, we know that Doc Ock is going to be involved in whatever happens in 700. We're all pretty sure that the Hobgoblin might be, unless he's imprisoned or something. I don't think he's going to be though. And we know something big is going. Well, or at least Dan Slott says it's going to be big. We know he says that. And personally, I wouldn't actually be surprised if the character Alpha was involved. For those of you who don't know, Alpha was supposed to be a sidekick to Peter, but it was short-lived. And Peter ended up suppressing his powers. He said that his powers can come back though, and that when they do, they'll probably try it again with him probably having a mask and a different identity rather than Alpha. But I have heard from some people that Alpha might end up going to Doc Ock, get his powers back to seek revenge and become a villain. Personally, if that happens, I wouldn't be too surprised if they kill him off. But I think if that happens, Alpha will go out, tell everyone that wreak havoc, cause trouble, cause total destruction on the world because, well, he's capable of doing that apparently, and then say, "This is what I'm basically punishing you guys for what Spider-Man and Peter Parker have done to me. Okay, Peter Parker, he knows Peter Parker was involved in that since Peter Parker was kind of researching him, kind of testing him, so I wouldn't be surprised if he knew about that. And the consequences, no doubt, if he did that, would be pretty big, would be pretty devastating for Peter because first off, it would give if Jameson it would give Jameson a lot of ground to really badmouth Spider-Man and get everybody against him again. You know, just like he did in the earlier comics. And not only that, but I wouldn't be too surprised if Spider-Man ended up getting his Avengers license revoked or his Future Foundation license revoked. I also wouldn't be too surprised if some if Peter ended up losing his job at the laboratory at the Horizon Labs that he works at. And I was always ever since Dan Slott wrote Big Time, I always knew that the whole Peter having this great job uh, was not gonna last because you know I think uh, since Big Time, it seems that Dan Slott I'm starting to get a really good feeling that Dan Slott has been really setting up Spider-Man because he's given him a bit more, such as he made him a member of the Fantastic Four for a while. He made him, and then there was the Future Foundation that he becomes a part of. He still has the good job. He seems to be on pretty good terms with Mary Jane Watson, which opens the door for them getting back together. And things aren't going too badly for him, as far as I know. I mean, yes, he's going through plenty still, such as Jameson's wife being killed off, such as he had to go through a brief period of the Human Torch being dead. He had to lose another friend during the End of the Earth storyline. And his girlfriend ended up dumping him after Spider Island. So, but still, his life hasn't been too bad anymore. And I think I remember they used to kind of pound on him a little bit more, especially. And personally, I think Dance Law is kind of setting him up for that. He's gonna probably, and I think he really wants to, if he even does, if he can manage to do it, do something that will bring Peter's life crashing down. Because at this point, it's kind of at a high. He isn't as he's still aware of the responsibility, and I applaud him for that. Because Peter, I think, is a pretty responsible guy. I don't think he's the kind of guy to like kind of let things go to his head that much, which is kind of a problem I always had with I've had for a while with Spider-Man 3 the movie. But off that subject, I but I'm pretty sure that's what I Dance Law I think is going to fit Spider-Man is probably a pretty bad position in Superior Spider-Man. I think, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was at a time that Spider-Man's life was at an all-time low, maybe with no job, maybe with no friends, perhaps with everybody not trusting him, and he would have to work his way like all the way up, and probably like never before because he's always had somebody to have his back. Whether it was Aunt May, it was Liz Allen, Betty Brant, anybody at the Bugle. So I Dan Slott has recently said that in an interview that he is pretty glad that people are actually talking about this, and that that he said that that if you put a pie chart, there is a sliver of people getting very excited about this, saying that they love what Slott is doing, that they love him, that they can't wait for this new comic. There's a sliver of people going, "You're the worst. I'm out of Spider-Man forever." There is a large section of people saying, Can't believe it's getting canceled. No. And there's another large portion of I'm a I don't know, but I'm gonna trust you. I would say I'm in that last section where, I'm gonna go with what Dan Slott does. I'm gonna go with what Marvel does, but I'm not completely sure of it. Okay, I'm not gonna say, oh, yep, it's gonna be great. And I do plan on going for Superior Spider-Man and seeing what happens there. Personally, it'd be but here's basically what all I really want from Spider-Man is for them to keep making his life complicated, keep making him a conflicted character, and it and I know maybe this is a bit more personal, but I would really prefer it if they kept Peter Parker and didn't just say, "Oh, let's get a new guy," like they did with Ultimate Spider-Man, which I was never really a big fan of anyway. Um, but we'll have to wait and see, you know, whether or not. And another thing, one of the things I think could probably drive Spider-Man over the edge a little bit would probably be the death of someone close to him. Perhaps, I don't know, Aunt May. We know Mary Jane is going to be a superior Spider-Man, so if they are planning on killing somebody off who's close to him, Aunt May is probably a good candidate. And as it is, this would be something that would really torment Peter, especially since one of the things he's kind of proud of was actually being there for Aunt May, even though he didn't save Uncle Ben. You know, so we'll have to wait and see, though. Um, please let me know what you think of this whole superior Spider-Man thing, and would you want to see a darker Spider-Man? Would you want to see or and what do you think of Dan Slott as a writer? I don't have too many problems with him personally, but no, actually I don't really have that many problems with him at all anyway. But I haven't heard the best of things about him at some points. So please let me know. Until then, I'm out.